They are coming from a very noble profession. They have put their all efforts on a clinical side. But unfortunately, our medical training system doesn't have a role to train them how to do research on the diseases and bodies, where we miss. And I think because of that, our attachment to the research we lose. And we forget, we just remember to write prescriptions of medicine depending on signs and symptoms. Any of our system. If you go to Western world or American world, you will find a big role of researcher to find in all the physicians and doctors. So this concept I would like to bring to these kind of CMAs and educations to make colleagues to understand, yes, there is a big researcher in all of us. We need to just pick in and find out, can we do better than what we are doing today? If these small challenges we don't take up, possibly we end up ordinary physicians who doesn't have a sense to look into futuristic science. What? Because science is dynamic, every day it is changing. Every day what we write today may not be correct tomorrow. So that made me learn when I understood there are missions in clinical practice where I was finding very difficult to cope up with them. And I used to say, yes, we cannot do anything. In fact, in all of your practice, you might have come a lot of patients who may be coming up like, doctor, what is next? And you really get frustrated attending the patient. Sometimes you try to avoid, you try to skip yourself, you try to refer him to somewhere else. And again he goes out and comes to you, doctor, I had been to that consultant, but nothing has happened, what to do? So this was a question always I used to face in my clinical practice. I have a little destructive way to mind. I keep on changing, I keep on finding what next if we cannot do this. So this made me to understand the power of ourselves. Yes, we can do much more better if we try to extend beyond the horizons what's happening in the world. During the course of this research, I could find out that the science which is waiting for all of us to give a new vision, new idea, new life. When we talk of regeneration, we should always understand this science is a science of biology. Regeneration is biology. This is my little journey from understanding prescribing pills to coming to cells. I always call this journey from pill to cell. Pills, what we write today. We think pills are the ultimate for everything. But let me share you to take a journey where pills, another 5 years, 10 years will not stand anywhere in medical practice, but the cells will take over the place of all the pills. During the course of my talk, I bring to you a very close vision. Why? Where these cells will take up the journey for all of us. Today's overall talk line I will put it in such a way to make you understand regenerative medicine stem cell as a building block. What way these cells are building blocks for our body. Not for us, but for everyone. Whoever living being from a plant to human being. Human is the most advanced Homo sapien animal, having a brain which we call a neocortex, which is an advanced animal. Whereas taking from a small animal and bacteria or a single cell organism, these are the building blocks which make up your functional unit of the body. What are these stem cells then? The question remains, you may be thinking, who is this stem cell, where it stays, what it does, what are their jobs, where they are busy. There are many questions in all the people's mind keep on asking. Yes, there are something microscopic animals who are working for you. When I started my career working on these, when I used to see these stem cells under the microscope, I used to correlate my second year of MBBS to find out the relationship between then the molecules and cells and today. I never expected after in my journey, sometime I'll come across the same microscope to understand, does these cells play a major role in our life? do they make, understand, communicate, talk with us? This was the question which I asked myself. Then we'll see little historical. It's not a science which you may be feeling suddenly it has bombed up. It has not bombed up suddenly. There's a big history. Anywhere in the history, if you see, any new molecule, whichever like a pharmacological molecule, let it be a biological molecule, maybe a monoclonal antibody, maybe any of the lasers, many of the ultrasounds, they are not pumped up one day in the market for you to practice. When they come to you, means their research or their work has started at least 20 years before they reach to you. 50 years before they reach to you. 100 years before they reach to you. Because anything which we apply to human life is not suddenly coming and written in your books to give the treatment. It has gone through many phases of clinical trial, researchers. Not only that, there are really pioneering people who have brought the technology as from animals to the humans. So we will see a little background of it, what happens. Then regenerative medicine, current aspect. We have to correlate the current aspect and regenerative medicine. Current aspect means the practice we, you and me follow, all of them with the pharmacological molecules or surgeries or lasers or ultrasounds, whatever you talk of those things. And why the current practice is failing, where we are failing, why we are unable to treat the conditions which we are supposed to say, yes, I can do it for you. And there the current practice fails. I call it to be a health crisis. What is the crisis? We'll see. Then it goes my own practical experience, what made me to understand this science is going to be a future for all of us. I'll share some of the experiences. Then during this, I'll also take you a very good journey, which is called the futuristic science. What is beyond the horizon waiting for all of us? Not today, just down the line, 5 years or 10 years. There are stories of drug discovery in a dish, organ shop, fiction or reality, organ development, 3D printing, organ development, minimal invasive technologies, silicon chip technologies. All these are related to physics. Medical science cannot be separated from physics. Who is one of the topmost researchers in physics, is very close to biology. Whatever you practice in your day-to-day life is related to physics. You happen to write a prescription to go for investigation for MRI. What is MRI? It's a physics. Incorporated the biology. X-ray, what is it? It's a physics. Incorporated the biology. Take anything, microscope, whatever you are practicing in diagnostic or therapeutic, your microscope is a physics. Everything is a physics. And there's a big bond relation between a physics and a biology. Without physics, biology would have never went in a revolution of what we are enjoying today. Take any part of your practicing thing. It has come throughout the physics. So physics and biology are interrelated and very strongly bonded. We have gone through the most researchers people are Stephen Hawking. I'll come to show his videos. He's one of the topmost physicists in the world. What he talks about the stem cells also I'll show you. They are so thickly correlated. If there was no physics, we would have not done any research in biology. In diagnostic, therapeutic, everywhere you take it like. Then why this paradigm has to change, the changing paradigm of health sciences. Changing paradigm indicates that why we need to change from this science to the newer science. So on all, I'll take you a re-revamp of the science, what is going to be. I was talking during the starting part of my talk itself, a living legend which can bring pills, which can take away pills and bring cells for your life. There is a big hypothesis which I have learned, which I always share in my all talks. What is this hypothesis? I'll come subsequent slide to tell you why pills will take over the charge of pills. It happens in last few years, 4 or 5 years, you will be coming across lot of stem cell in the mainstreams. Mainstream means you come across print media, electronic media, people are talking. Nowadays even I see patients directly go Google and find out what are the stem cells and they get into find out the technologies. Now this mainstream indicates that orientation from a three top of social life, one financial life and political life. These are the three important poles of any new science. If they are not together, the science will never evolve. If you see the Times talking how stem cells are changing the way we think about it, yes, this is a very important question, how we think about the disease. I'll ask you a simple question in your medical schools. Have you been not taught that neurons are fixed at the birth and they remain same way till your death? Anyone can tell me? Have you been taught or not? So that concept is no more exist. Those who are gynec practicing here, they are being taught with the dogma of fixed numbers of ovums. Yes, you come across the number of ovulations are fixed. Now it doesn't exist at all. In our training programs, we have been taught about cancer. Cancer is a carcinogenic disease. The carcinogens play a major role. Now it doesn't exist. There are cancer stem cells. So the therapy changes. So chemotherapy, radiotherapy doesn't exist for individual for the treatment which we used to practice. Surgery doesn't exist. All these DNA molecules of your cells are dynamic. They are called as under epigenetic stress. Epigenetic means your behavior, your cell, your DNA, all are changing depending on the environment in which you stay. They only bring in mutational changes, and multiple mutation changes lead to at a stem cell level to produce a cancer stem cell, and then the cell cancer starts. Here I'll quote you one very example before I forget in the subsequent slide. Before you diagnose a cancer in your clinical practice, or even at molecular level, say I guess stage 1 we call, or cancer in situ we call. Cancer situ is also a stage at least 5 years before the DNA shows the mutation of cancer. Means the cancer has started in your body way before 10 years. Now, futuristic science, what I am to talk to you subsequently, now the DNA chips are coming, which can diagnose your mutation at the genetic level, DNA level, before the nucleus gets into a carcinogenic function. So the science is changing. We are going far ahead of it. So I'll always request my colleagues, put in your mind little research mind. Put a little research mind. Your practice will become very easy. Very easy. You will learn what not to write. You will learn what to write, what not to do. Where you are finding a little hurdles to treat a patient, you will get a solution automatically. And that mind is very important for all the clinicians. In fact, if you see in US, there is a training program where most of the doctors they undergo training of research programs. I have been approaching with the University Mahajan Civil Sciences to approve a program of fellowship 1-year program for the only research for postmasters, diploma holders and MBA. So as 1-year program will give a knowledge of research before they start their practice. So that there are many hurdles, small problems where you forget to do. Then you will put your mind in research and find out, yes, I can do this case. This is very important. So any of you media you go CNN, you go Times, you go Forbes, you Times of India you take everywhere in media, you are curious to know what is happening. No other subject has been spoken so much so as stem cell or regenerative medicine today. In fact, if you see, there are events where many lay people are organizing the programs to understand this science. This is very important to understand. Then why our doctors should not understand? If the lay people are non-medical people or non-medicals are trying to get into the subject to understand what's happening in your science. So I wish through these kind of CMEs to reach all of you to make you understand, yes, we should also know this science because this is going to be future for all of us. Any future of a new science will only be a powerful reaching to the common man if there are 3 important pillars as I was talking to you. One is the political power, second is the financial power, and third is the researching brains. If there are no researching brains, you cannot evolve the science. So I'm going to use some of the clips of those leaders of the world who are so much for regenerative medicine stem cell science, which will give you a power to understand, yes, if these leaders are talking of stem cells, then there is something in this. something this. So we will see some of them like Barack Obama, 44th US president. Before he's president, he had banned embryonic stem cells in the US for the research, and there were no federal funding for this science. There were some social issues between Catholic churches and Protestant churches because they used to think killing embryos, killing a life, and they were resistant to fund this kind of research. But the science doesn't stop with kind of social stoppage or political stoppage. It doesn't stop. It went on evolving. It went on. Ultimately, Barack Obama had to remove that ban. He will listen with his own way.
Today, with the executive order I am about to sign, we will bring the change that so many scientists and researchers, doctors and innovators, patients and loved ones have hoped for and fought for these past 8 years. We will lift the ban on federal funding for promising embryonic stem cell research.
It's a great event which you all have seen.
We will also vigorously support scientists who pursue this research. And we will aim for America to lead the world in the discoveries it one day may yield. You know, at this moment, the full promise of stem cell research remains unknown, and it should not be overstated. But scientists believe these tiny cells may have the potential to help us understand and possibly cure some of our most devastating diseases and conditions, to regenerate a severed spinal cord and lift someone from a wheelchair, to spur insulin production and spare a child from a lifetime of needles, to treat Parkinson's, cancer, heart disease, and others that affect millions of Americans and the people who love them.
So from this you can understand, if you happen to see the research world, US is the only country in the universe which spends billions of dollars in the research. Not only that part, I would like to stress here, if research stops in US, the science will stop. Science will stop. The reason is that they are the leaders, and I wish India like country who has a huge population, is a clinical material, which they do, they miss it. If our team takes over the charge of this kind of work, we could be very easy leaders of the world to give the best of research in science and technology. You have seen in the world of space science, India has done wonderful work. So it is nothing impossible in biological science to happen this. Stephen Hawking, you all know he suffered from motor neuron disease at the age of 20. Then the physicians had advised him he should not pursue any career, he has a life of under 2 or 3 years. It was the story of somewhere in 1950s and 60s. He still is alive. He still is alive. I have got 2 research people in my mind always whom I adore. One is Stephen Hawking, from physician with a note at the bar of Nobel, and the second is Robert Lanza. Both are top researchers in their subject. Robert Lanza is in biology. He is among the 4 topmost brilliant person on the earth today, after Stephen Hawking. Now, if you happen to understand the evolution story of the earth or universe, there is a black hole which Stephen Hawking has given. All of us, we have been reading for years together. This is a theory which has been challenged by Robert Lanza. He says the evolution of the universe is taken through biology, not through the physics. And both are the top researchers and interesting people. You should go through them and read. You will understand the evolution of the universe is not through physics, but it is through the biology, through the conscious mind.
I have spent my life exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. But there's another universe that fascinates me. The one hidden inside our bodies. species of cells. Today, we are on the brink of a new age in medicine. An age where we will be able to heal our bodies of any illness. All because of cells inside us,
which have special powers. They are called stem cells.
Now, the purpose of showing these two videos is very important to make you understand. They are not simple, they have special powers designed by nature like plastomeres in the small primitive animals. Where you cut the limb of a dart, it regrows back. Salamander, you cut the leg will regrow. Starfish, remove the eye will regrow completely with the normal function. Blastomeres are there. We lose those other functions because of evolution. We have lost it, but we can regain those things. Now, the Stephen Hawking's words, if you understood, these are the microscopic intelligent workers, 24 hours busy in your body. Whether you want or don't want, they are doing their special functions. You can imagine, liver cell, if you put in a brain, it cannot function in entire way. He is designed, he is trained, he is made to keep your liver functioning. All microscopic persons, they are communicating with each other. If they don't communicate, always call unease. And that is the reason we go to the disease. If there is those two important philosophies are there, one communication and second information. In your own practice, in your families, in your society, suppose you stop communicating each other, do you think you can pass on information and the systems will function? In your own families, am I right? If you don't communicate within your own colleagues or friends or society, can you pass on the information what is going to be tomorrow? You cannot. The system collapses. Same way, your body is a system, is a machine, is an organized machine. Each cell communicates to other functions of the cell to do specialized function. There are billions of hepatocytes. Suppose a group of hepatocytes has decided not to communicate to the group of next. Don't you think you will suffer from jaundice? Don't you think you will suffer from jaundice? The group of cells stop functioning to remove excretory criteria from the body. This can happen only when the environment is disturbed. The environment plays a major role. Suppose you get a bacterial infection, viral infection, the environment changes in the organ. And the information from one cell to other cell, suppose which is supposed to go, doesn't go. Otherwise there is no problem. It's just the environment which is changed. And now, in my opinion, there is not a single drug, any molecule on the earth, which can change the environment. It can only treat your jaundice and weaknesses, but it cannot change the environment. The same thing applies to every organ of a body. It applies the same thing. Now, if you want to change the environment of that particular organ and see the communication between